I've never cursed and loved someone as much as this fucking guy.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Well,
now you kind of
bonding
sound
through suffering, right?
More or less. Yes.
Yeah.
I hear my wife say the same thing, man. Just in full, being fully candid here.
I wouldn't. All right, welcome to a SHOT Show edition of the Colion Noir podcast. Joining me is Tim from Leopold. No, you're Tim.
That's me.
And your name is Justin. And no. We have Nick.
Damn.
We're off to a great start.
I'm getting roughed up already on this. I'll be playing the role of Justin today.
If you wouldn't have both one-syllable names, it wouldn't be that easy to mess up.
Nick and Tim. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
That's
white.
pretty easy.
We're rolling.
But no, so we're here at SHOT Show. I wanted to essentially kind of just kind of talk about some of the things that we've done, because there are a lot of things that we've done not into the not so far past, but long enough where I think it's time to kind of start talking about it, like my elk hunt.
Absolutely.
With you, Tim.
Yeah.
And then me shooting out to
You
a mile.
shot out to a mile.
Yep.
That I still can't believe that happened.
Okay.
And he did hit, by the way. He didn't just shoot a mile. He did hit the target.
I think my reaction was pretty genuine when you hit the mile target.
What I think a lot of people don't realize too is it wasn't really planned.
No.
Like us being out there was planned, right? We were going to get a bunch of footage.
Yeah, we had
series.
content stuff we were going to do, and then you just got this hair up your ass. You're like, I'm going to take this rifle, and I'm going to shoot a mile with it. I'm like, all right, man. Like we'll give it hell.
Which
we'll
was a
figure it
hunting
out.
gun.
Yeah.
Well, wait, no, we did it with the Scar 20.
Oh, yeah.
With the Scar 20,
Yeah, with the Scar 20.
And so I'm not gonna be honest. I'll be honest. I didn't think it would do it. I'm like, because I'm like, it's a gas gun. It's kind of.
Well, I knew you could do it, but I thought accuracy by volume.
Yes.
We're
just
gonna be
kinda
here
walk
a
it.
couple mags. We're gonna walk it in.
Yeah.
And what was that? Fourth round, or like?
I think I hit it
round?
within the second round.
Right,
And
so
then
you-
hit it again within the third. I think the third.
Right. You
3 rounds
shot,
after
made a
that, yeah.
correction, gave you a correction, then you hit it. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I was blown away. I was like, I'll take it. A win is a win.
Yeah.
And then of course I always like to set myself up for failure, and I was like, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Right. I could have ruined everything at that point.
Yeah.
But then I hit it again.
But you did it.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it twice to prove it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the combo, even now to this day, that rifle sits in my living room.
Oh yeah.
Just sits
I bet.
there. Just because I love the setup, I love the combo.
Well, and you have like the utmost confidence in it now, right?
I really do.
You can do anything with that rifle that you need to do.
Yep.
Anything with
anything a mile in, and I'm good.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Just under anything under a mile. We're good.
Yeah, anything under a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't vouch for
Hey,
anything
well, next
outside
time
of
he
that.
comes out to the range, he's gonna be like, can we shoot like 2,500 yards?
Wait, you're right. There were further targets.
Oh, we could get back out.
He can
further
stretch
than
it
that.
farther.
Yeah, we stretch
Yeah.
out further. So.
Oh,
I'm just putting that in.
Don't tell me with a good time. Don't tell me with a good time, Tim. So now when we went, all right, I've never cursed and loved someone as much as this fucking guy.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Well,
now you kinda
bonding
sound-
through suffering, right?
Yeah.
More or less. Yes.
Yeah.
I hear my wife say the same thing, man. Just in full, being fully candid here.
I've heard that before.
I don't regret anything at all.
Good.
It was probably one of the best experiences in my life, and it's become a talking point I never thought I would have.
Good.
And for those who don't understand what I'm talking about my elk hunt, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty much, you're responsible for getting me to go out on this elk hunt. It's not something I would have done on my own accord.
You may not have come to try it, but you did everything. That was all you.
I tell you what, that first day, I almost was gonna check out on you. I was like, all right, we're done.
You're like looking up in the mountain. You're like,
This is why they invented cars, or planes, or helicopters.
Which is weird. I kind of had a dilemma of sorts, because it was the most beautiful thing in the world. I was in a space I'd never really been in before, right? Within the mountains. It's like I've been in the woods. I've never been in the woods in the mountain.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it hits a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was surreal. It was absolutely surreal. At the same time, with me having to try, like, I've lived below sea level my entire life.
Yeah.
Right. So the acclimation for me with the altitude.
Yeah, what was the elevation there? Was it's like 6 to 8?
We were,
feet somewhere?
I mean, we were down in a hole
Yeah.
when we walked up to his bowl, and we were at like 8,800.
Okay. Yeah.
And we were in a low spot. We had to go up a lot to get over
get
the
up,
top
yeah.
to get down to it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And so
we were
it
up there a
was-
ways.
yeah.
And it was night. It was 100 degrees plus. So when you start adding in, I mean, the air's even thinner then, right? When you
Right,
figure the
right.
density altitude at 10,000 feet on a 100-degree day,
With a
there's
pack-
not much.
with
There's
a
not much
pack
oxygen.
on
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yep. I will say this: there was one moment where we were remember when we were on the side of the mountain. We already spotted them, and we knew they were coming back.
Yeah.
And so we were on the side of the mountain. We were just kind of hanging out there for a couple hours,
Yep.
until we got till they came back essentially. And I kind of fell asleep on the side of the mountain.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like I fell asleep and I woke up and I'm like, holy shit, I'm sleeping on the side of a mountain. and then you open your eyes to this amazing view.
Yeah.
And I might have told you, but I wasn't sure if I did. Like, I'm terrified of heights.
You did mention
Okay,
that.
yeah, terrified.
Don't you live in like a skyscraper like high up?
Yeah, and I would
Okay,
never.
just
but
think.
here's the funny
Are you
thing.
like Batman? You like live in a bat cave because you're scared of bats? Like
Actually, I think so.
Yeah.
Because I literally won't go, like, even when I go up to my window edge, it kind of gives me the willies.
Yeah.
And then on my balcony, I have never actually touched the railing on my balcony because
Oh,
I
wow.
refuse to go that close
Okay.
to the balcony. Yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
I love views. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's kind of, but it's essentially what happened out there. I'm scared of heights, but it was so beautiful. I kind of was distracted. Like, it bothered me, but it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a cool experience for me in terms of being in a situation I really honestly should have hated, but was
We were a
idyllic.
little worried, going in. Just it's like if we can get him through the first day. If we can get him through the first day, we're going to be in good shape.
Did you talk to the guide beforehand at all? Did you tell him to run me ragged?
No, but that is an old guide trick.
Okay,
So
okay.
one of the things that they like to do, so I've been told, I've never done this to anybody, but you get new clients that come into camp and they're ready to go, man. They're like, we need to hike as far and as deep as we can get and go into all the way into the backcountry. And well, they're working that land all the time and they know how the critters act and where they need to be.
So they know.
So we always just called it walking the edge off. So, okay, they're here, let's go walk the edge off of them.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon they're like, I'm happy to sit in glass now instead of keep walking. So I was a little bit prepared
Gotcha.
first day
Okay.
to be one of these where we're gonna wear you out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you'll be happy to only walk a few hundred yards and sit down and use your optics.
And that's literally what happened. For me, it was like, and I'm looking at this guy, and this guy's probably younger than me, or the same age. He's built like me, and I'm like, why am I struggling? Like, and he's just, and you like a goddamn gazelle.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, Tim, I don't know. I was like,
The poor guy. Well, one of the things that you don't think about on something like this is if you shoot at a flat range or other things, there's generally not people in front of you. And so it's something as simple as where do I point the gun while we
Yeah.
hike
yeah, that is true.
under trees, over stuff, and around, you're carrying it completely differently than you would, because before you could either point it forward or back.
Yes.
But you have a guide in front of you and me behind you.
I wish I had
That's a good
talked about it.
point.
That is a very good point.
that's
Like,
And so it just, now you're like, I don't even know where to point this thing, and both my hands are full,
And
and,
then
I'm
we're filming
flipping and falling, and yeah.
yeah, so there's that too.
Yeah.
So
Pressure
I
being filmed.
I
yeah.
never talked about how much my muzzle awareness was on my mind during that whole time.
Right.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
And it was constant. Like, if we had like just live streaming the whole thing,
Yeah.
my gun was everywhere. It was a constant changing of directions because it's like, up, Tim's in front of me. Up, there's the guide. Up, got to be careful here. And I'm pretty sure I flagged a few.
I never
sometimes, but
saw it happen. You're one of the most muzzle-aware people that I had seen.
yeah,
And it made me feel for you, because I'm walking behind you, watch it. I can either point it here,
yeah.
or over there.
Yup.
None of which are comfortable.
None. And I have a tendency to kind of do the rifle hug, where I kind of hold it like this.
Oh,
The
yeah,
problem
left
is, it's
side.
like somebody's on
Yeah.
this side, then I got to change it. Then
Yeah.
and it's incredibly dynamic. And then I remember when we walked up on an elk.
Yeah.
That one time, and Peter and his little other camera guy, Booty Buddy, frightened him off. See, Peter doesn't have a mic this time, so he can't interject like you know.
He's
What
agreeing
did
with everything you just said.
Like, oh shit, that's an elk. Like,
I
yelling
can
at
see
it.
Peter. He's like, that's exactly how that went down.
So we were just walking through, and I was actually kind of comfortable. We were just kind of, it was like a hike.
Yeah.
My body had kind of more or less acclimated for the most part.
Yep.
And we're just going through, and all of a sudden the guy just freaks out. He's like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what? I'm like, what? What's going on? And you know me and my Glock 20, I'm like always ready to pull that thing out. And I'm like, what? Who's trying to kill us? And so
That is true.
This ain't downtown Dallas.
basically. And so and all of a sudden it's like right there. And I remember, because that was the first time I've ever seen an elk that close.
Well, and when he says that close,
Yeah.
I think it was about 10 or 12 yards.
Oh damn.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was like it could be in this room with us.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I remember it was there, and it was dead quiet, and everyone was trying to be quiet. And then here comes Peter and his friend, his homie. But the crazy thing is, when it took off, like after it got spooked and it just took off, I heard nothing.
Yeah.
The ability for these things to run in the thick of the brush and make almost no sound, it was like,
Oh.
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand it. But apparently that's a thing. Like they just had this ability to maneuver.
Yeah, for something that weighs 800 pounds we were in thick forest. That's part of how we got so close
Yeah.
before we saw it. You'll hear them when they first turn and break branches, and then it's like, where did they go?
Yeah.
It should
Yeah.
sound like a freight train
Exactly. You
going up
hear
over the
that- you hear
mountain,
that
and they
initial
just
snap, like this, like, and then they're gone.
yeah,
And
they
then-
just turn off
yep.
the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
That's nuts.
But so we are at shot.
We are
All
shot.
right. So that means goodies, at least for
Right?
me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. So what new things does Leopold have here at shot that
On the shooting side this year, we launched Mark IV HD last year. That's
Okay.
still something we're talking about. I mean, this thing has been so successful for us this past year. It was hard to keep up with demand, honestly.
Gotcha.
And as soon as people got these in their hands, the price point and the performance of this scope, no one can touch it.
Yeah.
And it's getting proven. I manage our pro team. There's a lot of guys going out and shooting matches, winning matches with this thing, which is pretty
I
incredible.
think I was running that on my
Yeah,
I was running that on my
yeah,
gun,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yep.
You got a couple Mark IVs,
Yep.
so that's been incredibly successful for us this year. But new for 25, it's a line extension.
Okay.
You know, the Mark V, the 2-10 was really popular. I think when it first came out, people were a little like, well, why is it not a 1-10 or a 1-8? But as soon as they started using it, they're like, oh, I get it now. Like, 2 incredibly crystal clear, flat, you know, same on 10 power too. You
Yeah.
know, resolution, parallax adjustment, but now we have a new reticle in there. It's our CMR mill reticle. So
Which is actually one of my favorite reticles.
Right.
I don't know it until I use it though.
yeah,
Like,
so
that's-
you're semi-familiar with it already because you've shot the Mark 6 1-6,
Yep.
has the CMRW, has that horseshoe with the dot.
Yep.
Right? People said, hey, we want that horseshoe with the dot. Put it in here along with a mill tree.
Yeah.
So for fast engagements, holdovers, you have your mill holds and wind.
Gotcha.
Man, this thing on a recce gun, 6 arc, you know, longer gas gun, even like a short little bolt gun or something
Yeah,
like that, like
yeah.
a Q-Fix or something like
Yep.
that. This thing is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I'm loving this FDE.
Yeah, so
Like,
it
that's-
comes in FDE now. That's been super popular. The past couple years, we did the Mark V and the FDE, right? The other models. The other cool thing too, super daylight bright reticle. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter bright daylight, high noon. You're going to still be able to see that reticle. No angle sensitivity or anything like that. That reticle is going to be very, very popular.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that, you know, it's illuminated.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yep.
And that horseshoe reticle with the dot, what it does a good job is like when you do have it on 2 power,
Oh.
it works so much better as a fast acquisition.
Even out to 200 yards, I was smacking targets with it on
Yeah.
2 power.
Yep.
And then, you know, again, like if you have it on a 6 arc or something, I mean, that's a 1,000-yard cartridge, right?
Yep.
And then you lay down or get on a rock or something like that, mag up.
Yep. And-
Dude, 800, 900, 1,000 yards, you're hitting stuff with this 2-10. I mean, it's a super versatile magnification.
The 2-10 for me, it is, I think, the most versatile range
Right.
of usability.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes, you know, I have stuff, you know, you dial up, say 25, 20, like if you're not really punching out that far, you're not even
yeah.
really using that magnification.
For sure.
But generally speaking, at 10, you can pretty much,
Oh, out to 1,000 yards, sometimes people will have too much max gain,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
And they get sucked in, low field of view, everything's moving around. You actually might be able to shoot more effectively and precise on 10 power like that.
Yeah.
And it's not that big, honestly.
That's what I was noticing too.
So
It wasn't...
I don't know if you remember at the range, I have a little Noveski 12.5 6-arc, and I have this on
I remember.
right?
Yeah,
that a hot little gun, and 12.5 shooting out to 1,000 yards with the 210 on there, and it's not heavy. It's still super mobile. Like you could move through doorways and little.
I remember
places.
that. I remember that stuff. Setup was so sexy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was a sexy set. I actually forgot because I told him I was like, I'm gonna make this exact.
That's
setup.
what you said. You're like, I'm gonna replicate this.
And I
Yeah.
It's like, or you're going to make one because this one's coming with me.
Yeah, exactly.
There's this thing
One of the
about
two.
about prison I'm not really a fan of.
Yeah, we'll cut that part out. Yeah.
But speaking of which, the interesting thing is like people kind of know me for my TRX, my truck.
Yep.
They know it because I'm constantly shoving it in people's face in my videos. But what people don't know is you were the actual motivation for me actually getting it.
Well, the first hit's free, right?
Yeah.
That was one of those things. So I'd been looking at those for a while, and the same hunt that we were talking about, that's what we were driving
exactly,
in. And
yeah.
then you and Peter, there were some conversations started about
Because I was actually,
maybe I should look at this.
Yeah, because I was entertaining getting the Raptor.
Right.
And so, which is funny because then, like, as soon as we got to our first meeting spot, like, 4 Raptors show up.
Oh yeah. Everyone's got a Raptor.
Yeah. And I'm like,
didn't you get one? You were one of the first ones to get a TRX, I think.
Yeah,
You were
just
like-
because of the way they built them.
Right,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I had ordered it on their pre-launch timing.
Yeah.
And then just because of the color combination, I think it was the second one that came through in Idaho. This is the largest dealer out there.
Yeah.
And so I got that one before they did their first, whatever that first edition, I don't remember what that was called, the launch edition.
yeah.
So I had the second one they'd ever seen. But that was luck of the draw. That was just is what it is.
Yeah, I remember I'm sitting in the back seat. And I don't think much of it. And like, how long was that drive up to the hunt? I think it was about 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we did a couple hours on the highway, and then we had another hour probably on the gravel. Yeah.
And then I'm sitting back. I'm like, every 30 minutes, I'm falling more in love with this truck. Like, it was just such a beautiful place to be.
Oh yeah.
And I remember just seeing this massive screen in the center.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this.
It looks like a jet fighter.
Yeah,
Like, that's
it
honestly
really
what it
does.
It's
felt
pretty
like.
cool.
I think it's the best interior of a truck there is.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And then on top of that, you add the capability of it.
Yeah.
On top of it, and then the sheer speed, and I'm a speed nut, so I'm like, oh yeah, this is the truck for me. Like, screw the Raptor. I was like, eh. And then next thing you know,
There it goes.
I get an empty. Which, in all fairness,
And you left it completely stock, it sounds like.
for now, we were talking about.
Before we get into that, the funny thing is, you served as the idea for me to get it because I got to experience yours, but technically, it was Buck.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
because before the TRX came out and had just been announced, Buck was talking about it. But I'd never really been a truck guy.
Okay.
So I'm listening to Buck talk to me about, he's waxing poetic about this new TRX. And I'm like, I'm doing his courses and I'm just kind of like, okay. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Good story, Buck.
Yeah.
Right? And then now I have it. I remember when I talked to him and I got it and he's like, yeah, you motherfucker. He's like, but he was the one that kind of initially told me about the TRX.
Okay.
And then when we went with you, it had been some time between when Buck had talked about it and then when I was actually in yours.
Yeah.
And I forgot he'd even mentioned it.
And then you're like, wait a minute, is this the
same
thing
one
he
that
was
Buck was
talking about?
talking
Yeah.
about. Exactly.
He's a Ram guy. He has like a big power wagon.
Yeah.
That big red shirt.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that thing's massive.
That thing's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm definitely, it's not stock. It's not stock. But I think I did normal things. I wrapped it. I added changed the front bumper, rear bumper.
Yep.
Kind of LED front. What's it called? Not floodlight, but the light bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Light bar, front light bar.
Yeah. For when people cut you off. That's why I have my light bar. I just like.
They say not for highway use, but
we do it anyway. Well, the funny thing is, because I was just talking to Peter about it, because we use that truck as our road trip truck.
yeah, they're so comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, you drove it to Gap Grind. I remember.
Yeah,
that
drove
one
to
time.
Gap Grind,
Yeah,
drive it to
Tennessee.
Utah.
Yep.
And the thing about it is because I'm such a city boy, my tent is obscenely dark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I have my front windshield tinted.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
So at night, you really can't see shit if you're not in a city.
Right.
So if you're out kind of in like a rural area where there's really no like light pollution or anything like that, it's really hard to see. So you have to use the light bar.
Yeah, the light bar becomes more necessary. Yeah, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I
makes
think I'm gonna take off that front tent.
front.
It's a little dangerous.
A little much.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous.
Looks cool, but not very efficient.
And Peter does a lot of the driving sometimes too. So, and he can barely drive as is for obvious reasons. But,
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that. Like I love driving, but once it's above 4 hours, I don't want to do it.
Oh, yeah?
Passenger princess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm sitting there with my laptop, and I'm like, Peter, why are you riding his ass so close? And he's like,
as he's listening to his podcast or watching a YouTube video on his phone on a speaker, so I have no idea what it is. So I just get my own earphones.
yeah, literally.
He's
Just in your own world. Yeah.
Like we're like two angry married couples who don't talk to each other
just,
anymore.
yeah.
He's just doing this thing, I'm doing my thing, and then I'm
Scowling
like,
at each other
I was like,
across
Peter,
the-
get off his ass, slow down. Like,
Oh man.
but yeah, no, man, I love that thing to death. I
Good.
absolutely
Yeah,
love it to
I
death,
love
man.
mine.
Yeah, and so
You said you're gonna get it turbo on top of the supercharger.
So
you're thinking?
I don't exactly know yet.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of plans for it.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping. I messed up and I drove. Which one did we drive?
Another truck or what?
Yeah, it was yeah. So what's his company's name?
Bailey's High Performance.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
So we have a friend
Yeah.
Chris, and
Yeah.
his company is Bailey's High Performance, and we
He has the fastest demon.
like yeah.
Oh no shit.
Literally the fastest
Yeah.
diva in the world. And we went to his facility, and so I'm like, okay, I'm entertaining what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
Because there are several options you can kind of go with. So then he has a TRX there, and he's like, try this one,
Oh.
right? And
Twist my arm.
Yeah, get you hooked.
it took me. I was already hooked the moment we pulled out.
Really?
Yeah, just because the responsiveness. Like, there's no reason a truck should be able to move like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
absolutely no reason.
Right.
But I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm all for it.
Because I can.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
'Cause you
No, I get it.
Yeah. Wait. So we were talking about this a second ago,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So spotting scope. So what's the story behind this guy? Because this is different color wise. This is all.
Assume you want to take that
You want me
one?
to-
Yep.
Okay. So we've got a couple different spotting scopes. So we have the BX2 Alpine, which is the one we're looking at here.
Okay.
And then we have a BX4 Pro Guide, but we're on the second generation of those. So this is a Gen 2 version. So you
Okay.
notice a difference in the industrial design and in the color. We've gone through, redesigned all the optics internally, and then it's a little bit of a nerd thing, but I know you like to nerd out as much as I do or more.
Yeah.
It'll attach directly to your tripod, so you don't need a plate on the bottom. So this
okay. So
foot is
just-
Arca, just like the
Love it.
forend on a rifle or anything else. And so interchangeable eye cups so that you can get it where it'll block out the light from the side. That's the biggest thing that you interact with is that eyepiece,
Yep.
right? And so when you're back and forth, everybody has a different shape of face or a different desire for the way that looks, feels.
Yeah.
So interchangeable eye cups there. But really what we've done is enhance the optical performance on both the Alpine, like this one, and then the Pro Guide. And we have multiple sizes. So this is a smaller, more portable backpack.
This is a
friendly
smaller
version.
one.
That is. Yeah, I don't have one of the other ones, but when you look at this,
Yeah.
This is
I'll
a
grab it.
60 time.
yeah.
So
well,
what is-
it's they still go up to 60.
Okay.
But what you've got is your objective
There's
diameter.
one of the
So
contoured eye cups too, right
Looks like
there.
this
This
looks like the
is-
hobble.
the next time we go to Deseret, I'm going to have you carry this one for me, and I'll carry this one.
Fair enough.
But so that's kind of the difference, right?
Gotcha.
Depending what you're trying to do. So you can see one of the eye cups here is shaped so that you can,
okay.
when you're sitting there like we were
Yeah.
up on the mountain, if you're trying to watch a bull, he's bedded down.
Uh-huh.
We sat there and handheld our
Yeah,
binoculars a lot.
Which
But
because of that, I learned to really kind of create creative ways to stabilize.
sort of figure out how to
Yeah.
get your
yeah.
hands on your
Yeah.
knees,
Put
your
it back
fingers
down
on your
here.
ball cap.
Yep.
There's a number of ways, but if you're doing that all day, every day professionally, you end up, it's worth it to start carrying spotting scopes in the field. And then if you're going to be glassing all day, having that light come in from the side, we tip our hat or, but
okay.
now you can just rotate that around and block it out. And so you can just sit there very comfortably and glass and watch
'Cause eye
all day.
fatigue is a real thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
It's a
in
real
the
thing.
backcountry, it matters.
Yeah.
And so Just the bigger objective helps you in lower light situations. So
Okay.
you're kind of trading off between lightweight,
Portability.
compact portability versus if I need to crank up the power
Low light.
at last light, more commonly in the morning. So there's one of the bulls is headed up into the timber. Is he old enough? Is he big enough?
Gotcha.
Is he, what's going on there? You may need high mag in low light. Generally in the evening, if it's getting dark that fast
Then-
and you need that much power, you're not getting there anyway.
Fair
Right?
enough.
You're not gonna
Okay.
not gonna make it there. But it does it helps a lot, and for filming. So if you're trying to video
Definitely.
through your phone scope or any other adapter, then having that larger objective does help as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well,
Well, we got to talk about the 6 HD Gen 2 too.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one. I mean, we built off the original 6 HD, improved it.
Okay, so just overarching concept behind this optic in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so people understand.
So it is more a hunting centric optic, right? That you're going to
Yep.
use for your elk hunt that
Okay,
you went on,
perfect.
right? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
You got to pack your stuff into the backcountry, hike 10 miles, right? Nice lightweight. One of the really cool features that we worked a long time on is this dial system.
Do you want me to run that?
Yeah.
So you can hold your.
I think I can do it with one finger. There you go.
There you go. He's got it.
So, every time you fly somewhere, you drive somewhere, you want to check zero, right?
Yeah.
And you might have to adjust zero. You adjust zero, you flip that toolless reset, right?
Oh, okay.
So, okay, I had to adjust. I flip that. Now I'm back at zero. Locks in. Lever down. Now I'm good to go. Dial.
Can I just put that in all the
Right?
other optics?
Well, maybe. Maybe if you ask nicely.
Yeah, I love that.
Right.
That-
No more Allen wrenches.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
I never have them when I need them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you got Peter. Peter.
He doesn't have them either when I need them.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, they're just the wrong sizes.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, it eliminates that. I mean, super easy. The windage dial has it too. Which
Gotcha,
Is nice,
okay.
Right.
That's freaking awesome, actually.
Yeah. Different main tube design. So you've used the Mark V a lot, right? So you'll notice it's an asymmetric design. So this angle is a different angle up front, right?
Yeah.
So now we have more travel in the scope, like the Mark V, right? Competition-inspired adjustments. So if you feel the clicks on here, they're going to feel more tactile, right? But still quiet. You're not making
Yeah, 'cause
tick
I
sound.
can't really
Right,
hear it.
because you don't want to make tick sounds when you're out
Yeah,
out there hunting, right?
Gotcha.
So, yep.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. Yeah, better
Oh,
feel.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, right. Improved that. Got a throw lever there on the magnification. Just easy, to go back and
Yeah.
forth between low mag and high mag.
So,
And one of the other features that we haven't talked about, that's in the original 6 HD too, but I really love, is the level feature. So it illuminated reticle, and you can set it up so that when you're off cant, it'll blink at you.
Really?
And then you go back to level, and it'll
it'll-
stay solid, and then
Yep.
your level,
That's
which is
that is-
right. That's
Yeah.
true,
While,
right?
while you're on that bull, right?
Yeah.
So you're not trying to
Trying to-
watch two different things. 'Cause
Yeah.
you get pretty tunnel
there's
vision.
nothing out of the scope
Yeah.
that you have to pay attention to. It's in the scope.
Yep.
with
Because
the
I've
leveling
always,
system.
because even I noticed when I did my competition, and I had that level on the outside of
The
my.
send it level with the lights.
Yeah, it worked, but like you said, it's this weird back and forth between.
Right.
You're looking through your tube, then you're outside your tube, then you're back
Yep.
in your tube, and so it's kind of like you have to do this weird, funky dance with your eyes.
Yep.
So that would be freaking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a really cool feature too. Comes with the flip up caps, which is nice. One thing about the flip up caps that I love, that like unlike other flip up caps, these actually go flat like that, back against the
Gotcha.
scope. So if you have to look over your scope, you're not obstructed.
obstructed by your-
And when you're shooting, you're moving, you don't have a flip up cap moving around or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, and they'll take, so they cam over like that, so that under recoil, because a lot of times your hunting guns, well, like the rifle you were hunting with, there's significantly more recoil there
Oh, yeah.
in a lot of cases. But they've got magnets on them, so
okay.
you don't need to clip it all the way down. So like if you can get it in there, and then it's just a matter of bumping it, so it comes up perfectly silent, so you don't hear it go clunk all the way over, and then when you cam it down,
And
now
it's-
it's going to stay locked out of the way
Gotcha.
and not bounce around under that recoil and try to close.
Yep.
So
That's freaking awesome, actually.
So it's cool to, it's little tweaks like that that make it so much more usable,
Yeah.
I think, than others. And listening to the feedback and people in the field and be like, oh man, I always lose my Allen wrenches, right? Like, okay,
Yep,
well,
yep,
we got
no
you.
worries. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all self-sustained.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. I freaking
Yeah,
love
so
it.
what you're going to see here essentially is a competition scope.
Version.
So when you go look at what people are using in PRS matches, NRL hunter matches, you're going to take a lot of that and transport it over, so you have just as much confidence in the ability to dial for every single shot, have it return to zero, have those clicks be exact, but in a more compact, lightweight, backcountry type of a setup, and we'll even give you a couple of those so that people can.
Oh, that's true. You get 2 free dials.
2
now.
dials.
So
Oh, really?
Yeah, you give us your ammo information, what you're shooting, environment, and then we'll make you that custom dial that has the yardages on the side. So, say you live at 2,000 feet, right? And I get a dial for there.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna go hunt up, where you guys were 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 feet. I might want a different dial.
Yeah,
because the ballistics are going to be different at that
Yeah.
elevation. So you get 2 free dials, which is awesome. Yeah, it's
Okay.
good, so.
That's freaking. I love this. This is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
A lot of good feedback and reaction so far at the show about that.
Yep.
So we're really excited.
I see
about
why.
it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate you for letting me kind of co-opt your space here.
this is what it's for.
Yeah,
Just for you. All this just for you.
Perfect. I don't see my name anywhere.
It's actually on the blueprint as Colion's room. It's right there.
Noted for next year. Yeah.
But thank you very
Thanks.
much,
Yep.
Nick.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Dude.
Tim.
Did I get a promotion? He's talking. So you report to me now. I
guess-
think is how it works.
Well, things just got weird in here.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah, that's
Not unexpected, I guess.
It's my job.
Yeah.
It's my job. But no, I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I really do. And I'm looking forward. I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud.
Uh-oh.
I'm looking forward to the next hunt.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
The hook
That
is
could go
set.
something good.
Yeah.
Yep. We got to do it.
I'm going to, yeah.
Mountain goat.
Don't make me regret saying
Kangaroo?
this.
Mountain goat is what I heard.
No, I've heard this guy talk about mountain goats. Yeah, see, I know because I'm friends with him. Said, no, you're not gonna set me up for failure like that, Tim.
No, we're not gonna do that to you.
But no, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, that's another episode of the Colion Noir podcast. See you soon. One thing's for certain and 2 things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now, you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together, we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.